guys, so I am back with a tutorial today and we are creating a neutral glam makeup look. So let's jump right into it, and I'm starting by moisturizing my client's skin using the Neutrogena Hydro Gel Moisturizer. Now I'm just jumping right into color matching and blending out that foundation. I am using the NARS Radiant Foundation in the shade Tahoe, and I'm just pressing that into her skin, just tapping and buffing it into the skin with a dense, fluffy foundation brush. When blending out her foundation, I am being sure to continue with tapping motions, and I am not swiping the brush because I want to keep as much full coverage as possible. Now I'm taking a concealer brush and applying my contour shade. To contour, I'm using a deeper shade of the same foundation, and this is just going to make sure everything blends together flawlessly. When I tell y'all using foundation to contour, highlight, and for your skin foundation, amazing. Amazing. Y'all gonna see. So I just applied that contour shade in the cheek area, the jawline area. I'm going onto her forehead, and when I blend, you're gonna see that I'm gonna make sure I blend out into her hairline, especially on the forehead area. That's very important. Now I'm gonna go down the sides of the nose, taking it from the inner corner of her eye to give more of a radiant effect when blending. And I'm applying that concealer. Well, sorry, no, we didn't even use concealer. We use foundation to highlight as well. Like I said, I love doing this, but I'm using a lighter shade of the NARS foundation, and I'm applying it in the areas that I want to highlight, which consist of the nose, the forehead, the bridge of the nose. Oh, I said that already. The chin, and as you can see on the forehead, when carving out her highlight, I am carving the top of the brow because placement is very important. And you'll see when I'm blending, I like to place my products strategically where I want them to go because it just makes the blending process easier and simpler. And you'll see when I start to blend. But I'm starting by blending out the contour shade, and I'm going in with a patting, buffing motion, but I'm also going to be flicking my brush in certain areas and at certain points, because flicking the brush is going to give airbrush sheer finish to that contour shade. So now I'm going in with my Morphe brow pencil, and I'm just using the spoolie end to brush up her brows because when I blend out the forehead, I just want to make sure the brows are in place. Like I said, placement is everything. So yeah, I'm just blending out the brows, and now I'm going to start blending out the highlighted areas, starting on the chin. And I'm using a disposable sponge to blend out these highlighted areas. And you could get these sponges from like Target or Walmart, just the regular disposable square sponges. And with a patting motion, I'm going in with that sponge, and then on the chin, I am going back in with the foundation brush. No additional product, but I just want to make sure that that chin highlight is not too wide on the chin. And then now I'm going back onto the forehead to blend out the highlight. And like I said, placement. So I am blending the edges of the forehead first, and then I'm going to bring it down into the center of the forehead. But when you blend out the edges first, you make sure that everything is seamless, and then bringing it in. Going down the bridge of her nose, same thing, patting motions, not swiping, patting, because when you pat, you keep as much coverage as possible versus when you swipe or flick the brush, you'll get more of a sheer finish. And we want full coverage because this is a neutral glam, okay? All right. Now I'm going up under the eyes, still patting with that same disposable sponge, patting. And like I said, start at the edges and then bring it up into the center. This is just going to help with the blending to give you a nice, radiant, seamless blend. And blending out the edges are very important because you don't want any harsh lines of indications on the edges of where a product starts and ends. So always take your time and blend. And I made sure to leave this in regular real time so that you could see that I'm actually taking my time and I'm blending everything out. So I'm going back in with the foundation brush, no additional product, and I'm just blending out that contour some more to make sure all the edges is smoothly going into each other. Yes, check her out. She was feeling herself, and we're not even done yet. But let's keep going. We are getting into setting the face now. After all of those liquid products have been added, I am going in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder with a fluffy, feather-like brush. And this is a very loose brush. It's great for setting the under eye. I'm going right under the eye with a small amount of powder, and I am just pushing and tapping that into the skin. This brush came in a brush set that I got from Amazon, and it is in my Amazon storefront, so I'm going to put that link down in the description. But yeah, so we just set in the under eye, pressing that powder in, and I'm going to go ahead and press this powder into all the areas that I highlighted. Using tapping motions, guys. Never swipe the brush, especially when setting. Always tap. And I took that powder over the eyebrows, so when it's time to fill them in, they're already set with the powder. Setting your eyebrows is going to help the brow pencil, show up better. Now we're getting into the nose contour, and I'm using a fluffy, what can I call this brush? This is a very detailed brush, a very small tapered brush, and it's very loose with the bristles. So I'm using that to buff out her contour, and I'm making sure I bring that up into the corner of her eyes, up into the brow bone. That just gives a very gradient contour, like I woke up like this type shit, like, yeah. But I'm also making sure I blend that into the highlighted areas so that it doesn't leave no harsh lines of start and finish. And taking my powder contour palette from, where is this from? Black Radiance. This is the light to medium palette. I am going in with the two shades. I mixed them, the two shades that's in that palette. I mixed that, and I'm setting all the areas that we contoured with that NARS foundation. And I'm just patting that in, and then I'm flicking the brush to have more of a sheer blend on the edges. Remember, when you flick and swipe that brush, it's going to give a very sheer airbrush finish. Now for one of my favorite steps, which is applying blush. When I tell you blush is a game changer, like blush just bring the whole look to life, okay? So I am applying that blush right on the highest point of her cheek and bringing it back into the hairline. And you want to apply the blush right in the center of where the contour and highlight meet, okay? That's major key. And after applying that blush, we are going to jump right into the eyebrows using that Morphe pencil that I used before. I think this was in like the shade Espresso, if I'm not mistaken. It was either Espresso or like dark chocolate or something. But I'm just using a very light hand, going in with hair-like strokes and creating a very natural appearing brow. She already has beautiful full brows, so I didn't have to do much. I'm just filling in the sparse areas and making them appear fuller. After filling in with that brow pencil, I'm going to brush the brows up, make sure that the hairs are where they need to be. I forgot to mention this earlier. I did go in on her brow with a little bit of eyelash glue. I used the clear glue from Duo, the Duo Clear Eyelash Glue. A very small amount just to tame the eyebrow hairs. And now I'm going back in with, I think I used the foundation for this step as well. I didn't even use concealer under her brows. Or am I mistaken? I might have used a Danessa Myricks Vision Cream to carve out her brow. I can't remember, but like you can see, I'm going in with that under the brow. Actually, this is too close to the foundation. I think I used the same foundation under the brow. But whatever, either way, it's fine. I am blending out that product and just making sure there's no harsh lines, blending it under the brow bone and bringing it down onto the eyelid. And now I'm setting it with some translucent powder right up under that brow bone before going in with the eyeshadow. And for eyeshadow, I'm using the Beauty by Melissa eyeshadow palette. I think this is like the Nude Persuasion palette or something like that. And I'm taking one of the brown shades out of that palette and I'm using that as her transition shade. Applying it into the crease and dragging it upwards towards the brow bone and outwards towards the edge of the eyes, just because I want to create like a drawn out eye look for this specific neutral glam. And I'm being sure to blend it into the nose bridge as well, just so everything, blends even and smoothly. Now I'm taking one of the shimmery shades out of that palette and I'm applying it right on the center of her lid with patting motions. And then I'm taking a darker brown shade and I'm blurring out the edges of that eye. Because like I said, I wanted to have that drawn out eye look. So I'm just focusing it on the edge of the eye, building up that courage, and I'm going to bring it across the waterline as well and just drag it outwards. This is going to kind of create like that cat eye illusion. After that, I went in with my black liner, lined her waterline. As you can see, she was trying to not tear up. And I just smudged out that black liner with the same brown shade that I applied in her crease. And we gonna smudge that out. Smudge.
Come back at 6, wake me and your child, and then won't lay today. Make me wonder who you might have been playing with. Makes me wonder who you think you're playing with. I'm beside myself.
Alright, now, so I'm getting into her lips. This is another one of my favorite parts because other than the blush, the lip is what pulls everything together. Oh yeah, and I applied lashes off camera. As you can see, after applying that black liner and smudging out that bottom and applying them lashes, the eyes just completely turned around. But now we getting into her lip. Always pay attention to how you are lining the lips. Lining the lip is like one of the major keys to having a bomb finishing lip, okay? Whether you're using reds, nudes, whatever color you're using. I like to always use a brown lip liner because I love that ombre of the brown and whatever color I apply to the center of the lip. So I'm taking my time to blend out the brown lip liner and line her up really good, as you can see. And now I'm going in with a nude lip gloss in the center, and I'm going to have her press her lips together to help me blend that out a little bit. It wasn't blend to how I liked it after she did blot her lips, so I'm going to go back in with my disposable, I don't know what this is called, not a spoon, but I'm going to go back in with that disposable wand and blend out the edges of that lip gloss so that it goes seamlessly in with her lip liner. And after blending it out, I'm going to finish it off with a clear gloss. The clear gloss just meshes everything together flawlessly. Everything just blends perfectly, as you can see. Look at that. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Comment down below and let me know how you liked it. See you in the next video.